What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Yejide, and if it's your first time stopping by, you are most definitely welcome. So guys, my friend in Ontario requested that I make these beautiful outfits for her. They are about 3 to 4 outfits. Yeah, so I decided to document the process of one of these outfits for you guys, of course. So actually I have a style, I have a tutorial of this particular style on the channel already, but I didn't document the pocket making parts, so that's the difference. So in this tutorial I'm going to be showing you all how I made this beautiful outfit with the pockets, of course. Yeah, so guys, if this is something you're interested in, let's get right into the video. So the length, it's actually a midi length, and I wanted to show you guys. You can see how it is. So yeah, so guys, this is the material I'm using. I'm making use of this crepe. I got about, is it half yard of crepe? Yeah, that color. And this is Batik Kampala. I got this for about 10,500 naira in Oshodi market, and I got it's 4.5 yards. Yeah, so guys, I'm going to be cutting the front pattern first, and as you can see, I've gone ahead to fold this material into two, and I'm just going to cut out this part that I don't need. So guys, the first thing I'm going to take measurement of is the midi length. So the length I'm going to be using is 40 inches, and I added 3 inches, so I measured 43 inches. So now the next thing is to measure the neck breadth, which is 3.5 inches, and the depth, which is 2 inches. As you can see, I'm just going to mark both measurements like so and make a little curve. So that is the neck part. So guys, the next thing is the shoulder to sleeve length that I want. So guys, you're going to measure from the middle of your back to where you want the sleeve to get to. So I want this to be 20 inches, and I added 3 inches as my allowance. So guys, from that point I'm going to come down to make my round armhole, which is 10 inches. As you can see, it's meant to be 9 inches. I added 1 inch as seam allowance. So guys, the next thing is to mark the hip line, which is 24 inches. Now on this hip line, I'm going to mark the hip circumference divided by 4. Hip circumference is 40 divided by 4, that's 10 inches. And now I'm going to add 7 inches. This 7 inches, guys, is for ease. You don't want this style to be fitted on your body. It's a loose style. So yeah, add 7 inches, 5 inches, depending on how wide you want it. And I'm just going to connect this back to the armhole I marked earlier. You can see in this manner, and I'm going to connect the rest down to the end or the edge of the material in a straight line, just like I've done. So guys, that is basically it. I'm done with drafting this front pattern. So yeah, I'm just going over what I did. I took the neck measurements, I marked the shoulder to sleeve length, and from there I came down to mark the round armhole. Then I marked the hip line, which is 24 inches, and on that hip line I marked a quarter of the hip circumference, hip circumference divided by 4, and I added 7 inches to that. So I marked that up back to the round armhole, and the rest down to the edge of the material. So yeah, that's it. I'm just going to cut this out now. As you can see, I've gone ahead to cut out the neck that I drafted, and I'm just cutting out the whole of the pattern. So guys, this is what it looks like. I'm going to go ahead now to open this up. So guys, we are going to use this as either the front or the back pattern, and I'm going to be using it to cut out the other pattern. You understand? So I'm just going to go ahead to fold the remainder of the material, and I'll place this pattern I just drafted now on the material. Yeah, the material I just arranged on the table. So as you can see, I'm cutting out the pattern of the first style I drafted initially. You understand? So we have the same pieces of both style. You can see the same thing. So now guys, for the front pattern, I'm going to pick up one of the pieces, and from that neck depth I'm going to come down by 9 inches, and that 9 inches I'm just going to connect this back to the center of the style. And as you can see, I drew in my vertical line. Then from the center front, I'm just going to come in by 1 inch, still on this neck part, and I'm going to connect this from that 1 inch back to the depth of the neck. I'm going to connect this in a V form. You can see this is slanted, so I just came down by 9 inches and I came in from the center of the neck down there by 1 inch, and I connected this in a V form or V shape back to the neck depth above. So this is what the front is going to look like, guys. So that is why it is good to just cut out the back and front, then you just pick up one of the pieces to draft out your front pattern. So guys, the next thing I'm going to do is take this to the sewing machine to join the shoulders part. You can see I'm going to join both shoulders and I'll be right back. Join this with 1/2 inch. So guys, I'm gonna head to join my shoulders and I've turned them to the right side. I was oh my god, I'm also gonna head to iron. So this is what it looks like. You can see I'm going to open it up for you guys to see. So guys, the next I'm going to do is to take a round measurement of what I have on the neck from the front to the back. You can see starting from one V part. You can see I'm starting from the front and I'm just going to take the round measurement of the neck area for both front and back. You can see how I'm doing this. Make sure you have the actual or the correct measurement. You can see I have about 27 inches, about 26.5 to 27 inches. Yeah, so that is what is going to determine the length of the neck collar. Yeah, so guys, this is what I'm going to be using for the neck collar and the chest design. So guys, as you can see, I'm gonna head to cut out 30 inches in length. I like to have excess, you know, it's better for it to be longer than shorter. Then the collar wideness, it's 4 inches. You can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to mark 4 inches all the way down and I'm going to cut this out. So guys, by the time you fold this, because this is going to be folded when you're about to sew to the neck, by the time you fold it, it's going to give you 2 inches. Yeah, so guys, for the chest design, you can be very creative about this. You can draw out any shape you want, you know, be it square, be it trapezium, be it amoeba shape, any shape you want. So guys, for me, I'm just going to be making use of 11 inches for wideness and 10 inches for the length. Yeah, so just be very creative about this, and I'm just going to cut this out. So guys, I'm not going to be making use of an exact square shape. I'm just going to make a little curve, a little cut rather, at one edge of this square shape I have here. So you can see what I'm doing. Just come in by 3 inches, then on the other side also 3.5 inches or so, and I've just cut out a little piece from that part just to give me this, you know, fine shape you are looking at currently. So guys, the next I'm going to take this to the ironing table. I'm going to iron all the edges of my chest design. I'll iron them in by 1/2 inch, you can see, so that it will be easy for me when I'm about to sew on my fabric. So guys, I'm gonna head to iron the collar down also, you can see. So guys, the next thing is to join this to the material. So guys, I'm going to take this to the sewing machine now and I'm going to sew down my collar. You know, I'm going to sew this round by 1/2 inch. Sew this round till you get to the other end. So guys, one trick about this crepe, the crepe that we're going to be using, is that make sure you don't use a stretchy crepe, right? So it won't give you any issues when you're sewing. Make sure to not use any stretchy material. Yeah, so guys, this is what it's going to look like by the time I'm done sewing. Like I said, sew down with 1/2 inch. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead to do that now, and I'm just going to cut off the excess. Like I said, I prefer having excess than, you know, for it to be short. So guys, the next thing is I'm going to face in both collars like so. I'll place one on the other and I'm going to stitch this down in the middle. So guys, if you can notice that I did not go ahead to sew down the sides of my dress yet, so that it will be easy for me to sew my collar and my chest design. So guys, make sure you don't sew the sides of your dress or your bubu yet. So you open it on the sewing machine so you can sew the collar and the chest design. So guys, the next thing is to sew the first part of this my chest design. You can see I sewed this on the wrong side. Yeah, so this with 1/2 inch. That is why it is very good for you to iron the edges down. So guys, for the other edges, you know, I'm just going to open this up and explain. For the other edges, guys, you want to make sure that you sew this on the outside, on the right side. Yeah, like so, and you make sure you sew very close to the edge of the material. So guys, there are three things you should note about this thing that I've sewn here. The first thing is that my stitches, you can see, you can't even see my stitches. Make sure to use the stitch that is the color of the crepe that you're using. That's one. Number two, make sure you sew to the edge. You sew very close to the edge of the of the crepe. That's to them. The third one, make sure you do not use a stretchy crepe. So guys, the next thing now is to fold in or hem the sleeve of this dress. You can see I'm just going to fold this twice and I'll hem. Then after hemming, I'm going to mark my round armhole. I did the same thing to the other side. Round armhole is 9 inches. Then from that part, I'm just going to sew this down. Guys, don't forget that this has a pocket. This dress has a pocket. So guys, from the shoulder, I'm going to mark the half length, which is 15 inches. So I'm going to be sewing from this point to this point here. I'll do the same thing to the other side so I can leave my pocket allowance. So guys, from this point, I'm going to mark my pocket allowance. You can see 8 inches, and I'm going to continue my sewing from this part where my chalk is all the way down to the end of the material. I hope you understand. Make sure to leave your pocket allowance if you want a pocket or if you want pockets in this dress. So guys, this is what it looks like. I've gone ahead to sew down the sleeves and the rest of the material, leaving the pocket allowance. So guys, these are my pockets. I cut out 4 pieces of this. You can see 9 inches for wideness and 10 inches for length. Yes, remember I left 8 inches as my pocket length, my pocket allowance. So make sure you have excess more than the length of the pocket allowance you have, right? So guys, for this pocket I've drafted out, the length is 10 inches. So guys, you can see this material is on the wrong side, so I'm going to take one piece of the pocket pieces I've drafted and I'm going to sew this down. You can see the way I'm doing it. Sew this down to one end of the material, either the front or the back. I'm just going to use my office pins to sew this down, and note that I'm sewing this on the wrong side of the material, not the right. So now this is one, and I'll repeat the same thing for the other piece. All right, I'll just take another piece of the material. So guys, one thing about this material, like I said, this is batik. It's the original batik Kampala. So both the front and the back, you can use any of the faces as a front or back. You understand? There's no wrong side, there's no right side to this material. So that's why it's very easy for me to do this. So guys, after joining the edges of the pocket to the materials, the next thing I'm going to do is to join both pocket pieces together, and I'm just going to sew this down following this D shape that I've drafted out using my chalk. Right, I hope you understand that, and I'm going to repeat the same thing for the second side of the material. So guys, this is what it looks like. I'm gonna add to join the sides. Look at the pocket. I'm gonna add to iron. You can see it looking very fine and very flat. So guys, make sure that as you're sewing, you're ironing this style. I've also gonna add to hem the edges of the material. I hem that with 1 inch. So this is what the inner pocket looks like. So guys, please, we've come to the end of the tutorial. Don't forget to like this video and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you have any questions, ask me in the comment section down below. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.